Lifetime, America's first talk television network, promises an evening full of first-rate entertainment. Starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, Richard Belzer checks out today's hottest properties.
I thought it was a real estate show. I'm very surprised to
property.
Next at 9, Regis Philbin explores the best life has to offer.
Oh, you're hot. You're cooking. I love it.
Then at 10, Dr. Ruth Westheimer has answers and advice for you.
I hope you have good sex.
Join us weeknights beginning at 8 Eastern here on Lifetime. When a professional soldier meets a professional photographer,
Sit down.
you never know what'll develop. Cover Up. Special 2-hour premiere tonight. The following program is presented with limited commercial interruption.
This Lifetime Minute is brought to you by Head & Shoulders.
There are 2 magic words in makeup that can do wonders to bring out the best in your face. In just a moment, I'm going to tell you what they are. 2 ways to give your face structure and definition are highlighting and shading. Using a lighter base or cover-up and a damp sponge, apply highlight under the eyes, on the bridge of the nose, over the smile lines between the mouth and the nose, under the chin, on the bones of the forehead, on the eyelids, and above the cheekbones. With a darker color and a damp sponge, apply shading to the hollows beneath the cheekbone, the tip of the nose, the other cheekbone, on the jaw to narrow it, a subtle shadow on the inside corner of each eye. Then blend both the highlighting and the shading with makeup base, and you've got bone structure, the basis of all beautiful faces.
She's the Good Housekeeper, and she keeps it clean with her carpet sweeper and her washing machine, a fast-moving, self-improving housekeeping whiz. She knows every trick in the housekeeping biz.
This show is brought to you by Charmin.
Today, our gal has tips for those who may be on the lookout for information that can help you plan the perfect cookout. Lining bottoms of those non-gas grills makes perfect cleanup sense. Just remember to cut holes in line with all the bottom vents. A large juice can with ends cut out can help you start your fire. Punch holes around one end to create drafts beneath your fire. Stuff newspaper in the bottom, then put charcoal on the top. Light it, and before you know, your briquettes will be hot. When finished, scrub the grill work while it's still a little hot, because when the crust gets cold, it's hard, but when it's warm, it's not. We hope these tips prove helpful next time you're cooking out, because making hard things simple is what our gal is all about. She's the Good Housekeeper, and she keeps it clean with her carpet sweeper and her washing machine, a fast-moving, self-improving housekeeping whiz. She knows every trick in the housekeeping biz.
This show is brought to you by Pert.
Most people think it's hard to clean this woodwork or those walls, but not our gal, because with her tips, she makes both jobs seem small. Scouring powders are taboo. They might scrub off the paint, and no one wants to trade a stain for a patch of paint that ain't. Detergent in warm water should do most jobs up right. Let's play it safe and test it in some spot that's out of sight. When water runs down dirty walls, the streaks will come off hard. So wash walls from the bottom up, and your cleaning won't be marred. Non-washable wall coverings can still be gotten clean. Use dough-type wallpaper cleaner, and those coverings will gleam. Trust these Good Housekeeper rules on either walls or woodwork, 'cause she'd never pass them on to you if she ever thought they wouldn't work.
Corby Lane had a problem.
You weren't by any chance thinking of handing me $5,000?
Don't be silly. Do you think I'm mad?
What's the matter with it?
Loose marbles.
She wanted to do the right thing.
This is only the second time I've been out with you, and I've kissed you, and I've proposed to you.
But she just couldn't help herself.
The whole town's going crazy. All because of a scatterbrained girl that just wants to do good.
Gene Simmons and Robert Mitchum star in She Couldn't Say No. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, here on Lifetime.
You'll be quite a famous little boy, won't you?
Inquiring minds want to know why.
You are a forger, a liar, and a thief.
Inquiring minds want the inside story.
No subject of the king may be condemned without a trial. My son, I presume, is the subject of the king.
Let right be done.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Whose side are you on?
The Winslow Boy. Today at 4 p.m. Eastern, here on Lifetime. Forget the Miami Vice look. Beginning Friday, February 7th, Don Johnson's Going Hawaiian. From Here to Eternity. Premieres Friday, February 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern. At 7 o'clock, do you know where your family is? They're right here on Lifetime. Come home to family every weeknight at 7 Eastern.
And now, Life Tips for a Lifetime with Joseph Benty.
Nearly 1,600 children are expected to die in this country from cancer this year. However, the death rate has gone down considerably over the past 30 years because of improved treatment. Robert Dean has a report on part of that treatment that involves helping parents and children overcome the emotional trauma caused by cancer.
Watching 11-year-old Stan Miller play soccer, you'd never know he's had 2 bouts with cancer. It was nearly 2 years ago when young Stan began suffering pain in his legs, so severe he could barely walk, let alone score a goal. Flu-like symptoms also set in, and a few days later he was diagnosed as having leukemia, cancer of the white blood cells. His parents, Art and Margaret Miller, were initially shocked and mystified, as most families are.
It gets a little spooky. The unknown is probably far more frightening, I suppose, than when the diagnosis itself actually came in.
Stan, like most children his age, knew little about cancer and immediately assumed the worst, even though his case was treatable.
I had a big question mark in my mind, as what's it going to be like and how's it going to be, and how it would affect, the sports I played and everything I like to do.
Do you remember what you were afraid of that very first night when we went over to the hospital?
Well, I wondered if I was going to die.
Yet Stan's and his parents' initial feelings were not unusual. The psychological trauma that cancer and its treatment carries can be devastating.